I think I sent him the link. I mean, he might have been pulling my leg. Who knows? But as you know by now, Ron the waiter is MIA. Ron the waiter is MIA. So you know, we're getting people to fill in until we figure out what's going on with Ron the waiter. But he said he needed a week off. His week off is almost done, and I haven't heard from him since last week. Jesus. Man. And with that, I say good morning to Alex Stein, prime time.
Good morning, Stein.
I can't hear you, Stein. I can't hear you, Stein. I can't hear you, Stein. All right, he's saying one moment. A lot of people said to me, Tony, why are you having Alex Stein on? You know he's going to pull some shit.
Let him pull some shit.
Can you hear me now? No, are you kidding? I'm the biggest Greg Opie Hughes fan in the world. These people are, you know, I hate the Dabbleverse. I'm telling you, the Dabbleverse is the worst place on the internet. I know I'm going to get a lot of kickback for this, but I mean, I'm on your side, Opie, when it comes to the Dabbleverse. It is an absolute disaster to even be a part of it. Trust me.
I don't even follow the Dabbleverse. They try to pull. I know.
That's why I would go on your show, because you're anti-Dabbleverse. But you know, they try to drag you into it. They try to drag me into it. I hate it so much.
Wait, they're trying to drag you in for real?
Well, I mean, just always, like, you know, Kevin, a guy that I was always nice to, just took all these shots at me for no reason, literally no reason. I didn't even do anything to him.
Right.
And he kind of apologized, but I just don't even want to go on his show because it's just not worth it. And then I've been watching a little bit. They've been having that prostitute on, Scarlett Hampton, and it's just been so bad. I mean, it's really sad.
I honestly don't know any of this shit. All I know the basic stuff. Let me tell you something. Like, they do well. A bunch of those shows do well. But you told me when I ran into you at a Trump rally.
Or that was when he got indicted, right? Well, it wasn't a rally. It was him going to jail. What was that again? What was the big deal?
I was live streaming on the streets of New York, and Trump came to town because he had to, like, show up in court or something. I'm like, I'll check it out. It's like 10, 12 blocks from here. And I went, and next thing I know, I hear this guy, Opie, I'm not. And I know who you are, dude. You're fucking massively huge. I thought back in the Opie and Anthony days that I had balls. You fucking have the biggest balls going out there by far. So we met, and then wait, you know, I got one video. It's quick. We met, and then Alex decided. Let me see. Alex decides he's got to put a MAGA hat on me. Let me just play this real fast.
That was like a funny clip. That's a funny clip.
Let me see.
Opie,
what's up? Oh, no, that's the other one.
I'm Alex Stein. I'm the guy who's making you my show. They want to flip up with Opie. I'm with Opie.
No, you ain't taking my picture, Alex.
I'm a secret Trump supporter, Greg Hughes. Put on your MAGA hat here. Can you see how? Look. I'm with Greg Hughes in his MAGA hat. Let's go, MAGA.
All right, bro. Now that I met you, I'm going to do your show.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, my God. I just realized I never did your show after I met you, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, you can do my other show. But so this is why I'm such a fan of Opie and Anthony. You know, I was a big Howard Stern mark for forever. And Howard used to bash you guys, obviously. But then that's why I started listening. And then I really liked your show with Jim. You know, I became an Opie and Anthony fan. So, you know, I've been a fan, obviously, of Anthony, Jim, you know, since the Sirius radio days. So, and I'm friends with Bubba the Love Sponge. I love Bubba. I always liked his show. And he likes you a lot. So,
well, Bubba, see, I burnt every bridge. I'm a problem. You know, I'll be the first to admit it. And me and Bubba started doing some stuff. Then he got excited. He's like, I'm going to go to Howard Stern and tell him that, you know, I'm going to try to, like, get a show together with you, and we're going to put it on Sirius XM. And I'm like, dude, that is not going to work. And I never heard from him again.
Wow. He likes you. He talks good about you. He talks good about you.
No, I love the guy. I would love to get him back on this. But I just want to mention the Dabbleverse really fast. You know, you can't deny that some of those guys do well, but I don't know where it leads to, because like you got talent that goes past just trashing fucking people. And the Dabbleverse is based on an old Opie and Anthony bit, right? It's based on Jocktober, where you find someone just. You could find the weakness. I could find the weakness with you if I really wanted to.
Of course. People make fun of me, of course.
If I watched enough of your stuff, I would find a couple clips where you weren't as good as, you know, you are, whatever. And then you just focus on that, and then you make the guy look like a complete asshole. It's right out of the Opie and Anthony fucking playbook. It was called Jocktober. But the problem with the Jocktober thing when we did it we knew you could only do it for about a month, and it gets tiring and old. So I don't know what these guys do when they're not trashing each other.
I have to agree with you. And, you're right. Some of these guys are making a living. But even Kevin, though, Kevin has a stream every day for 1,000 days in a row too. I mean, he's basically one of those like Aiden Ross streamers. He because it's like a slot machine, right? Every time he turns on the stream, he's hoping that he makes some money, and he does well. Like you said, I'm not throwing shade about that. We all got to make a living, but it's like just so toxic. At some point, I just don't know if it's worth it to just constantly be negative like that. I
would love to see some of those guys just spin out and just start doing something else. You know what I mean? But whatever. Dude, when we were doing Opie and Anthony, we were one of the only games in town. It was fucking easy, bro. And now, I'm not going to lie to you, I live stream from a windowsill. To try to get traction nowadays really is not easy.
Yeah, but so you're in a nice apartment in New York. I mean, you're in a pretty nice place.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of a bigger audience again. But it's a lot harder, and I think Roger Goodell and the NFL knew exactly what they were doing. I mean, he has more streams than even Taylor Swift. Yeah, but, you got thrown out of Penn State.
I did with Gavin McGinnes with Anthony's co-host. We almost got killed. We almost got killed. I'm not even kidding, dude. They were chasing our car. They had to give us a police escort. I got spit on. Those are the good old days. But sadly, Opie, like you're saying that I have balls.
That's the good old days.
Well, but this is the thing. You're saying like it is hard to kind of build an audience, and it is, even though you used to have one of the biggest audiences in the world. But you know what people want to see? They want to see people get killed. They want to see me at a protest get spit on. Like, they don't really care about podcasting. They want to see you like get totally put yourself in danger. Like, I'm actually worried though.
Wait, can you walk us through the Penn State thing? Because like my audience is obviously different than yours. So, but just give me the basics of that again. I know you were doing an appearance with Gavin. And they didn't want you for what? For your past shit, or what was the problem?
I mean, I was just kind of the appetizer, but we were with this student organization called Uncensored America, where they have a chapter at that school. And Penn State it's a big school. They have a lot of woke kids. And because Gavin was there, the Proud Boys, the leader of the Proud Boys, all the Antifa from the area were there. And that's actually how the Proud Boys started. They were like protecting Gavin because he was getting assaulted at all these events. So I'm an idiot. Gavin's like inside near the cops. I'm like, I'm going to go out there and, just, see what's going on. And so I go out there with my camera phone like a total idiot. And they're hitting me. They're throwing pizzas at me. They're spitting on me. And it's great content. But, it just riled them up so much. They ended up having to cancel the gig because they were beating on the glass trying to break into like the lecture hall where we were having the event. So it was insane. It was crazy.
I'm sick because I think it's hilarious. Are you ever scared out there?
I mean, it kind of depends. Like, I go to these LGBTQ rallies. I'm not that scared there. But if I go to like some of the pro-Palestine stuff, those guys get a little. They don't mess. Yeah. They don't like joke. They don't have as much of a sense of humor. There's a guy, Jake Lang. If you like crazy content, he's a January 6th guy that got pardoned, but he goes and you've probably seen the clips. He'll put like bacon on a Quran. Like he's gonna get killed. I feel really bad. I tell him all the time. I'm like, Jake, I don't know if you really need to do this. Like, there's a better way. But I'm not gonna tell anybody how to live their life. But somebody's gonna really take offense to that and Charlie Hebdo and start shooting. I'm not just saying that. I believe that'll happen.
But I mean, throwing hot dogs at a Muslim guy and they don't know it's turkey yet. That's fucking ballsy, bro.
Well, we're trying to get some publicity for the fight. I was trying to get things riled up. So I'm always, and I'm just totally shot out of a cannon. Like, I'm like, let me just do it. I come up with an idea and I know that it's going to be edgy. Right. I guess this goes back to what I was saying. In order to have an audience, you kind of have to be like Kevin Brennan and push people's buttons. Like, you can do it different ways, but there is something, though, it's sad about if you're not pushing buttons and being polarizing, people aren't interested because we're just so desensitized to content. So I knew that I was going to push buttons. And pushed a big button, got me fired. I lost $15,000. I'm still sick about it.
Well, let me tell you, the philosophy of the Opie and Anthony show is very simple back in the day, and it's happening. You just explained it, actually. Me and Anthony understood that we had to do the shocking events to get people talking. We came into New York. No one knew who the fuck we were. We were both from Long Island. We had no experience in New York City radio. We did really well in Boston, but that meant nothing back then in New York because you could not like today where you could turn on a camera and everyone could possibly watch you. So we came to New York as just these two idiots. They thought we were from Boston, and we knew we were talented. Back then we had insane chemistry, but we knew we had to get the people talking around, quote, the stupid water cooler. That's an old saying, right? What are people talking about around the water cooler? So we did the big shock jock events. But we didn't rely on that. That was to get the people to the fucking show, and then hopefully they found us funny and everything else was interesting. And then we would wait another week or so, and then we'd grab the next shock jock thing. But then, like Bill O'Reilly and all these assholes, they just labeled us as shock jocks. No, we were using that as an element to get you to our fucking show because when you do this every day, it's a grind. You know, and if you're just doing shocking things every day, eventually people are going to be like, all right, what else you got? And that was our philosophy back then.
You guys really kind of took care of Louis C.K. when he was, struggling. You guys were there for Louis and all of these comics. And I think that's why the chemistry was so good. And, like people give Anthony a lot of credit. He is super talented. But I would say that I liked you on the show. I always thought you were the head of the show. I mean, I still think you are technically. I mean, that's how I always kind of impersonated the show. And that even though Anthony was great at impressions, very funny, like I kind of always thought it was your show, theoretically, that's how when I listened to it. But what is funny is that, and I said this earlier, I started off, I hate these guys. I'm going to listen to them, fuck Opie and Anthony. Dude, you guys with Patrice, did you notice how Howard started to poach Patrice towards the end of his life? Of course. Were you mad that Patrice went on? I know that you guys said that you didn't, but what did you think about that? Because that
no. Patrice was insanely loyal to us. No. We understood some of these guys had to go on Howard, to expand their audience. But I was never pissed off at Patrice. I knew where his loyalty lied, man. That guy was just fucking amazing.
I mean, the clips are still good. I still go back and listen to Opie and Anthony to go to bed. I listen to y'all show. I mean,
I'm telling you right now, Patrice. Often. Oh, sorry, Alex. I'm telling you right now, if Patrice didn't die young, he would be considered one of the greatest comedians of all time. He just falls short because he died young. His shit was unbelievable. I've said this many times. I saw all these guys do stand up, and the one thing about Patrice that I don't know to this day, I saw him no less than I don't know 10 to 20 times. Oh, I'm allergic to cats, Alex. Jesus Christ.
I love cats.
I actually love them too. But you would see Patrice, and you're watching this guy, and you were thinking to yourself, is he fucking making this whole setup on the spot? And to this day, I don't know. I know he took comedy seriously. I know he took his stand-up seriously. But I think he was brave enough to just throw everything away and just fucking go with it on that stage. And that's what made him so damn brilliant. Because that's where the real stuff lies.
They tried to get mad at him because I forget which comedian made a joke, and they had him on Fox News, and he was just lambasting that girl about it. That's such a classic clip. I mean, dude, that was even Howard Stern. If I had to compare his best radio, it was like Artie and Eric the actor. But I would argue that Opie and Anthony with Patrice was a better show than Howard with Eric the actor. I mean, I really would say that there was more talent. You'd probably laugh more. You might get more pissed off at Howard, but like I said, it became a freaking Opie and Anthony mark right then and there.
Well, the mistake Howard Stern made, and it's stupid to say this because, like I said, I'm live streaming from a windowsill.
You guys probably have the same size audience. Howard's audience isn't very big anymore either, so don't beat yourself up too much. I mean, his audience is 90% gone.
He's lying to his audience about his numbers, but letting Artie go is the biggest mistake because that's what made him so fucking real, and that's what Artie was the one guy on Howard Stern that was similar to what we were doing on Opie and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get these funny guys in. I remember back in the day, these comedians would come in and they would try to do their act. I'm like, God, you're supposed to be a funny guy. I don't want to hear your stupid airplane jokes. If you're a funny guy, you come in and hang with us and we'll find hopefully the humor. And that was Artie. And when Artie was on with Howard Stern, that was when that show was very similar to what we were doing back in the day. It's just too bad because we had a massive fucking show going.
Well, I would argue, too, that I think Howard kind of facilitated Artie's downfall a little bit. Like, he enabled him for sure because he knew that he was whacked out. And And like they said they were trying to get him help, but I feel like Howard used it as a crutch because it was so entertaining, it was so interesting. Everybody's like, "Where's Artie?" Like the times when he would miss episodes, the episode would suck, but just the drama surrounding the voicemail that he'd call, "I'm sick, Gary." You know, he would talk about that for an hour of the show. Would be reacting to the voicemail. So Artie would be the best part of the show when he wasn't even freaking there. So. Yeah, it's sad that he just it's not even his politics. Like I don't even care that he's a little libtarded. He had Biden on. It doesn't ask him one. Does he do anal? He's famous for asking celebrities funny questions. Has Hillary doesn't ask Hillary if she does anal. It's like when he started not being Howard Stern. That's when I was like, I'm done.